Hello, welcome to 1111 Oracle. So in this video, I'm really excited to see, what type of wise old being you are. Are you a shaman? Are you a witch? Are you a wizard? What have you been in many times in your past lifetime? And what is your soul signature as far as what kind of wise being are you in this lifetime? So let's take a look at some choices here. So I'm going to give you three air plants to choose from. Okay. So we have choice 1, 2, and 3. All right. Let's start off with choice number 1. Okay, choice number 1. Let's see. So I'm going to shuffle a few cards here, and I'm going to get an idea for you of what kind of a wise one you are. Interesting, for sure. Okay, so group number 1, you are a healer. And this one is super cool. He has, or she, or I don't know, he or she has symbols all over. And the sigil keeper, symbols, signs, and messages. So you are, okay, so what I'm getting for a lot of you is you were, druids, shamans, very wise men and women who understood an ancient symbolic language. You might come from an ancient civilization or feel ties to an ancient civilization like Egypt, where you draw in symbols, hieroglyphs, or you might be more connected to the druids, or you might be more connected to another culture where, symbols are very, very important, or the language is symbolic rather than verbal. So think of a culture that you associate or that you connect to where the language is not written with letters the way we know it, but is more of a symbolic language where you have symbols. Think of any culture where there are more symbols rather than an alphabet with A, B, C, D, etc. You're a healer. You are a medicine man, medicine woman. Let's take a look at this pile here and see what wants to come out. What is this card? Acceptance. Wow, I really love this card. Oh, it just makes me so happy. There's a little star there, so you might feel drawn to being a starseed. And if you came here from my starseed video, that's a confirmation that you do also have a connection to the stars. All right, you are someone who maybe you're very in touch with astrology as well, and you can read the stars and the transitions and all of the different planet placements within the birth chart and all of that. If you're not aware of this talent that you have, you may want to look into it. This is certainly something that you have a lot of ancient wisdom in. So the symbols could be that tie to astrology, but whatever it is, you guys are healers, you're astrologers, you speak and understand the world through symbols. You have a very symbolic way of thinking, and you're very aware of signs all around you. You're very aware of totem animals, and when an animal comes to you, what's the deeper message there? You're very aware of, like, if a leaf falls in front of you from a tree, for an average person, maybe they would not think of it more than just being a leaf falling from a tree, but you see this as something a little bit, like having a little bit more of a deeper meaning there. Oh, this leaf fell right in front of me. Is the tree trying to communicate to me? What does a fallen leaf symbolize? turning over a new leaf? Is this a reminder that I need to turn over a new leaf to start afresh, to start anew? So you're very perceptive of the symbols that you see around you in your environment, and you're very, very connected to your ancestors, and your ancestors are coming through to remind you that you have this shamanic gift, this shamanic healing gift within you. Now, we don't all choose to be shamans, right? Might be why we have the card acceptance here. Traditionally speaking, a shaman doesn't choose to be a shaman. No. Because this is a very difficult path. This means that you are the one to heal everybody else in your village or whatever, right? Traditionally speaking. And usually a shaman is chosen through some kind of an affliction that they have to experience. Originally speaking, this was a physical affliction, some kind of a disease or sickness that takes over your entire body, and you have to go through this purging process, this healing process, this spiritual purging process that manifests in physical. And then through that process, and after, you can only, oh right, that's what it was. You can only heal yourself once you accept your role as the shaman, and once you start to heal other people. Once you accept your role as the shaman and start to heal others, then the sickness or the disease goes away. So this doesn't have to be physical. This could be emotional. This could be all kinds of things, but it's almost like you have to accept that you're the healer. And once you accept who you are and acknowledge that you have this powerful gift to share with the world, your own ailments are going to heal and lessen through healing others. So this is really, really cool. I personally, I love these card combinations. I mean, they're beautiful to look at, and it gives you, visually, not just visually stimulating, but visually, you as someone who pays attention to signs and symbols, pay attention to what you are seeing. Pay attention to what you are seeing, because what you're seeing in front of you gives you a clue, a visual clue as to your own energy imprint and pattern, whether it's down to the colors. Maybe you have a lot of green in your aura, which actually, absolutely you do. You definitely have a prominent green aura as your primary color. All healers do. Green would be that indication that you are a healer, whether that be in traditional medicine or an alternative form of healing, or even in a kind of style of healing that is not really considered to be part of the healing arts. Maybe you're a counselor or something like that, but you are a shaman, you are a healer, you heal others. You needed to go through the darkness first. It is a difficult path to be a shaman. It is a difficult path to be a healer, because it means that you accept a certain amount of self-sacrifice to spirit, to others, to helping in this greater cause that goes outside of your own. It's not just taking care of you in this lifetime, it's taking care of others. Of course, the sooner you accept your path, the more you are going to feel comfortable with yourself, the sooner you'll be able to step into your power. And once you do step into your power, your own ailments, your own inner entanglements will untie themselves. You come into alignment with who you are. So right now, it's almost like you are resisting it. You are fighting against it. And that is more of an indication that you are a shaman. If you do fight against this healing gift, this is kind of like a normal reaction. All shamans have this moment where they're fighting against whatever this sickness, this disease, this ailment, this emotional instability or hurt or trauma was. There's a resistance to this self-sacrificial lifestyle. But when you accept it, instead of, you may have a lot of lower back problems as well. You might want to get that checked out and do some exercises, okay, for that. Lower back problems would indicate your fear of disappearing into others. When you help others, you're afraid is to, give away of yourself completely and melt into others. So, there needs to be a change in perspective where you understand that how important your role is, how pivotal and primally important, perfect word for a shaman, right? You are to those around you. And once you do help others, spirit is going to come through and supply you with all the extra energy that you need in order to rejuvenate and heal yourself. Of course, there's that reminder from spirit that you do not have to sacrifice all of your time and energy, even though there is that sacrificial element that comes into play. They just ask that you also take time out for yourself to relax and to rest and rejuvenate in order to be a stronger energetic match to heal those lost or sick souls around you. And of course, just because you are a healer doesn't mean it's your duty to heal everyone. You can choose who you want to heal, those deserving versus those not. Be careful not to play God, though. Remember that you are human. Keep both feet flat on the ground. Remember that this is a gift. But of course, if someone is a toxic energy vampire sucking your energy away from you and always demanding more, you have the right to close the door and say, I'm sorry, I cannot help you anymore. Rhyming today. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that reading, my fellow shamans and shamankas. If you are a woman, of course, I just use the word shaman. Shamanka sounds kind of funny to me, but that would be the female variation. I hope you like the reading, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. All right, group number 2. Okay, group number 2, let's take a look at what wise old being you are, wise spiritual being you are. All right, we're going to shuffle the cards here. Getting a couple of things. Okay. All right, we have the wizard. All right, I think that's pretty clear. We have Rune King, Wise One, Counselor. So you might like runes. You might have a special connection to these sort of Germanic or Northern Norse types of cultures. And you may have ancestors that maybe were Druids or Vikings or something like that. You may want to look into that or have a certain attachment to those maybe past lives where you were a druid, etc. Other worlds. Okay, veil, illness, transition, and we have the Weaver, which the words there are, I love this card, fate, destiny, and weird. Weird spelled W-Y-R-D, and W-Y-R-D is symbolic of this being divinely different, divinely in sync with all that is, and dancing to the beat of your own drum. You have a lot of symbolism in these cards. So I just want to take a pause. It's going to allow me to drink some water and catch my breath a little bit for you to pay attention to all of the symbols that mean something to you. I mean, you know, we have some moths here, which could be considered butterflies, but then that moth could also indicate, right, not being like the butterfly, not being afraid to be different than the butterfly. So there's that indication of just the night butterfly, right, and everything that's also connected to the dark, not being afraid to be what's, you know, considered stereotypically different or weird. The wizard, of course, wizard, weird. We have some interesting patterns with words. So just want you to think about that and take a look at the symbolism here. Spider webs. There's some, looks like entangled roots here, and then the braids in her hair. So there's a lot of patterns that repeat themselves in these cards. Take a moment to take all of it in and see what it all means to you. Okay. Now I just want to also point out that with this card, the other world, you have, I don't know if you can see that, number 44. 44, of course I associate that with the angelic number, so you might have very, actually not might, you do have a very strong tie to the spirit world. You guys are ultra connected to angels as well. You have all kinds of spiritual beings that speak through you. You are the wizards, the witches, the you are the mediums, and you connect, you speak with the dead. So that is very, very deep and interesting. Just make sure to protect your energy, of course, and practice your boundaries. You may want to look at my video on psychic protection, especially since you guys are such an open channel for spirit in general. But you guys are, it's such a beautiful group here. If you are interested in any kind of divination practice, I would recommend taking a look at runes. I have some actually, so maybe I'll pull out some runes for you to get some extra messages. I'm going to take 2 out. I have my lapis lazuli crystal runes here. I think this is Pertho. I'm not as familiar with the runes, so I'm a little dependent on my little booklet here, so I hope you guys don't mind. We'll start off with Dagaz since this came out first. So you might want to take a look at a rune set and purchase that instead of tarot deck or oracle cards. You certainly can look into tarot or oracle, but I recommend runes. You might really enjoy them. What I like about runes is what I have is just this little booklet with all of these. Okay, it's kind of blurred out, but there you go. There's all these keywords there instead of long explanations or interpretations, which gives you the freedom to really connect with whatever words mean something to you. So let's look at the keywords, key messages for you today with Dagaz, which means day or dawn. We have breakthrough, awakening, awareness, daylight clarity as opposed to nighttime uncertainty. That's really interesting because then we have the moss. We talked about the night. So there's this interesting juxtaposition between day and night, yin and yang. You might want to take a look into that. A time to plan or embark upon an enterprise, the power of change directed by your own will, transformation, hope, happiness, the ideal, security and certainty, growth and release, balance point, the place where opposites meet. This rune cannot be reversed. However, it can mean that if it's, I don't see, as you can see, it doesn't really have a reverse position. It's the same way both directions. It can also indicate ending or coming full circle. All right, now if you do feel hopeless or anything like that, let's take a look at Pertho just to get any added messages there. But there is some kind of an awakening that you are going through, some kind of transition. This transition could very much be, since you found yourself in this video right now, very much be attached to you coming into this awareness of your psychic gifts and who you are. I'm getting very heavy energy coming through me right now. So absolutely, that's that confirmation that this awakening has to do with your psychic abilities, your psychic gifts, your identity as a wizard, as a witch, as someone who is a medium who can speak to the dead. So this is your awakening, coming into contact with your true self. Okay, so Perthro. Oops. So, what did I say? Occult abilities, initiation, knowledge of one's destiny, knowledge of future matters, determining the future of your path. I mean, this is really cool. This is super cool. You are definitely coming into alignment with your psychic abilities and psychic gifts in this group. I invite you to comment down below. I'm interested in learning more about your stories. I always find this group of wise ones, wizards, witches, so fascinating. So please, by all means, feel free to share any experiences or comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, group number 3. Let's take a look and see who you are. I'm being guided to take a look at this pile first. Oh my gosh, that is cool. It's interesting. This card came up before. What's interesting with this group is that well, you can see the background there of my room, but yeah, this mirror, can it fit? It's almost like saying you're trying to find yourself. Okay. Hold on. I'm just going to leave it there because that's one of the cards. It's actually a mirrored card, which is kind of funny. Place the 2 other cards here. Acceptance, humanity. Wow. Something very powerful about this group where you are wise. Oh my God. You are, you're on the path to becoming an ascended master, perhaps. Or you are on a path of ascension towards your own spiritual growth and development. Now the mirror shows up because I remember listening to this song over and over, and there's this lyric in the song that goes, when the mirror speaks, the mirror lies. So obviously this is not your reflection, right? So that reflection there is a lie. That is not who you are. So it's almost like you had to come to this video for the reminder that you don't need to find yourself through external sources. I know that sounds sort of frustrating to hear. You're like asking for confirmation of who you are, and you're curious to know what group you fall in. But you deep down, you know who you are. You're a beautiful being. You're a beautiful soul of a giving, compassionate nature. You are not necessarily a witch or a shaman per se, or a wizard or whatever, but you are a light worker. You are a very wise old soul. You come from a lot of you have come from an ancient line of wisdom within your own family. You're connected to the community around you. You are a leader. You are someone who is very giving, who gives to others willingly. Your path is beautiful, and your guides are very, very proud of you. Oh my goodness, like you have angelic guides around you, you have ascended master guides around you. This card wants to come up. Equality. I'm going to swap. I'm going to put this in front of the mirror if you don't mind, because I can't really see much with the mirror anyhow, since the reflection lies, right? So your path has to do with some kind of alignment of justice in the world. You are a soul here to help humanity rise. You have a beautiful, 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 bright colored aura. I mean, just look at this guy. Look how his aura is just glowing around him. Wow, just really beautiful energies here. You're a light worker, you're a peacemaker, you're a justice seeker, a defender, activist of human and animal rights. You are maybe interested in the environment. You are very intelligent, very connected again to your ancestors. You have a lot of wise knowledge that's been passed down to you. Okay, I almost take a look at this woman's forehead. And I see all of these, the eyes, It's almost like the ancestors, all of the wisdom from the ancestors in your mind, right? The layers and layers of ancient wisdom, of ancient eyes and ancient perspectives, all filling your mind. Like, you obviously have your own ideas, but you have a lot of wisdom that's been passed down to you from your very own lineage, whether that be a spiritual lineage or a more bloodline lineage. Take what resonates. There's a certain amount of acceptance you have to come to terms with in yourself, where it's almost like you're searching for that recognition or that acceptance of who you are, and you're searching for an understanding and approval of what you can offer to others. But ultimately, everything that you have, everything that you are, is within you, within reach, within your own grasp, and you know exactly what you need to do as far as next steps are concerned. You know exactly where it is that you need to go. You know, you don't need that mirror, because the reflection lies. The wisdom that you seek is within, not without. The wisdom that you seek is within, not without. All that wisdom from your ancestors has been given to you at birth. All right? You know, you see all those hands reaching out in this man's forehead, almost like you have that support of your spirit guides, your ancestors around you. This is a beautiful energy. And of course, I love this man's face, so wise and loving. The star and the moon, it's like you're connected to the universe, you're connected to the earth. You see all the sort of beings kind of dancing around in his cheeks there. You're connected. It's like your ancestors live in you. It's almost like that's what I'm getting with all the hands and the eyes and the people in the cheeks and in the foreheads. Like, your ancestors live in you. Their spirit lives on in you, giving you more strength. Strength in numbers is what I'm hearing. The strength in numbers comes from this very intense and, you know, solid connection you have with these beautiful, beautiful beings, wise beings. So that is a beautiful, beautiful reading, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to reading for you another video.